Welcome to my channel. Listening practice. Full story in English.
Mimi and Butterfly. Long time ago, deep in the forest, there was a very large beehive that was decades old. Every day, the bees were busy doing their respective tasks. Baby bees only flew around the nest, flying to play from inside and outside the nest. They were not allowed to play far from the nest. The father bees each had the task of leaving the nest and collecting food from flower nectar, while the mother bees were busy organizing and storing all the food supplies that the fathers got. One day there was a very brave baby bee. Her name was Mimi. Mimi always imagined how beautiful the world was out there. Mimi always wanted to leave the nest and fly away like the bee fathers. At night, when no one saw her, Mimi ran away from the nest to go see the outside world. She went alone. At first Mimi felt hesitant when she reached the door, but she had wanted to see the outside world for a long time. Finally, Mimi flew leave the nest. Mimi had flown very far from the nest. She was amazed to see the moon and stars in the sky that lit up the beautiful night. Mimi was busy lying on a leaf and looking at the sky. Before long, Mimi heard a faint voice asking for help. Mimi was confused and immediately flew away, trying to find where the sound of asking for help was coming from. Not long after, Mimi found the source of the sound. The sound belonged to a butterfly trapped in a spider's nest. The butterfly begged Mimi to get him out of the spider's nest. Mimi immediately thought of a way to free the butterfly. Mimi got an idea. Mimi took a piece of wood and the butterfly held the wood tightly. Then Mimi pulled the wood. They tried as hard as they could, but the butterfly couldn't be freed. Mimi immediately sought help from the insects around the place. Then the insects helped Mimi pull the wood and the butterfly held the wood firmly. After a while, Mimi and the insects pulled the wood. Finally, the butterfly was freed. They were all happy and cheered happily. The butterfly hugged Mimi and was very grateful to Mimi and also to the other insects. Mimi and the butterfly became good friends. They flew together every day to see the beautiful world. Mimi also invited the butterfly to go to her nest. A kind pangolin. Long time ago, in a savanna, there lived a pangolin. The pangolin had a kind nature and personality and liked to help other animals. He was also very cheerful, so the other animals really liked him. One day, in the midst of animal harmony in the savanna, a lion came. The lion hunted and frightened all the animals there. All the animals hid behind the bushes. Behind the bushes there were many animals hiding, one of which was a squirrel. The squirrel was very afraid because the lion was getting closer to his hiding place. The squirrel's body was shaking because he was very afraid, and he made the grass around him move. The lion saw the grass that was constantly moving. Finally, knowing that behind the bushes there must be fresh meat, the lion got closer to the grass and found the squirrel. The squirrel trembled even more when the lion showed his fangs and claws to the squirrel. The lion said, "O squirrel, accept your fate. Today I am very hungry, and I will make you my meal." Hearing the lion's words, the squirrel could no longer hold on. Because he was so afraid of being eaten by the lion, the squirrel suddenly fainted on the spot. The lion closed his mouth and was surprised to see that his food was unconscious. The lion shook squirrel's body to awake again because the lion didn't like to eat unconscious animals. The pangolin, which was also hiding in the bushes, was watching the lion and got an idea. The pangolin told all the animals to pretend to faint so that the lion wouldn't eat them. When all the animals had pretended to faint, the pangolin came out of hiding and faced the lion. The pangolin said, "O lion, doesn't eating the flesh of an animal that is unconscious taste bad? Look at all the animals in this field, they are all unconscious. The pangolin asked the lion to remove the squirrel from his grasp and sacrificed himself as a substitute for the squirrel to eat. The pangolin managed to distract the lion so that the other animals who were pretending to be unconscious all got up and left, carefully leaving the lion and pangolin behind. A hungry lion immediately caught the pangolin to eat. The pangolin immediately rolled his body. The lion didn't know that pangolin had such hard scales. The lion bit the pangolin with a very strong bite, but because pangolin have very hard scales, the result was that some of the lion's teeth broke and the lion felt pain. The lion screamed loudly and threw the pangolin. The lion held his mouth in pain because his teeth were broken. The lion ran away from the field with his stomach growling because he didn't eat the pangolin. The pangolin immediately ran and headed towards the other animals. All the animals welcomed the pangolin's arrival happily because the pangolin managed to save all their lives and succeeded in driving away the lion.